Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and in today's episode, it's one of my favorite episodes where I get to take something out of archives and show it to you and give you some history and what we used to do with this particular thing. And in today's episode, I want to cover the phenomenon known as cassette covers. Okay, so these are these things which, they come in little packages like this, and they basically are designed to cover audio cassettes. Okay, so for example, they all come in little packages, of various different types of animes and that kind of stuff. And these audio cassette covers are designed for basically these things, which we refer to as audio cassettes. Now, just a little bit of breather on that. So basically, in the era of when we used to get all our musical soundtracks on, let's say, a record, or maybe possibly for those people who actually bought a CD, since CD recordable media and the advent of the actually MP3s were not available to us, the only way that you could really like share or trade a copy or even make a mixtape of something for you yourself was to use something like an audio cassette. So these magnetic tapes were the way that you had to basically record from the let's say a record or let's say the anime itself, for example, off of the episode or off of the VHS tape, or even maybe off of a laserdisc. You can record the audio content on one of these cassettes. Okay, so basically now these audio cassettes come in a jewel case like this. But of course, most people think, well, that's kind of pretty plain and pretty boring. So what they've done to sleeve up these audio cassettes is they designed these sleeves. Okay, and what they designed to do is basically they'll have room for the index, so you can write down the fact that this is a Orange Road soundtrack or Orange Road mixtape or something, and you can take that and you sleeve it into your audio cassette case like this. Okay, so now, when you finish making your cassette, now you have the finished cassette box. So when you have your mixtape of Orange Road, for example, then you can put it into your cassette card. Now you know that, hey, this is my Orange Road cassette tape. Okay, so what are these cassette cover things? So basically, these are basically index cards designed for audio cassettes. So basically, when you record all your different tracks of your soundtrack or your CD or your mixtape, for example, you can then put this decorative index cover for the cassette case. Okay, so basically this allows you to have a different picture for the different tapes that you make. It also has different things that you can mark on the tape. So you can mark, for example, things like the dates you recorded at the time, what kind of source you use, whether you use, say, a laserdisc or a CD, a record, or something like that. You can tell you if you've got Dolby noise reduction on or off on it, what kind of bias you have, whether it's a steel or a 2 or a metal cassette or just a regular ordinary audio cassette. You can also tell whether or not you've used any equalization on it. Okay, so basically you think, okay, well, these things are kind of cool, they're kind of collectible. How much are they? Well, okay, these things, when they first came out, were about 250 yen, so about 250. Okay, and as time went on, they went up a little bit in price, so it's about closer to $5. But, still a pretty cool thing. And so these packages, when you open them up, okay, will come with basically 12 cassette index cards, okay? So that 12 basically means you got, basically, 3 of one particular, picture, and you have basically 4 sets of 3. So just, for the rest here, you have 12 different covers. There's 3 copies of each one, and you basically have 4 different pictures that you can use. Okay, now you think, well, and okay, and the other thing that it also comes with is this what they call a letter set. Okay, so these are basically designed that you just basically take the clear piece here like this, you press it onto the actual audio, onto the actual disc like that, and then with a little bit of rubbing with a pencil or whatever, or a pen, you can rub that letter onto your cassette so that you can actually label it "You're Under Arrest" or "Titles Chow," so a mixtape or something like that, for example, and then you can then personalize it for yourself. Now you ask yourself, well, that's kind of a waste. Why in the hell did they give you, like, instead of 12 different cassette covers, why not give you, why did they give you, only 4 different ones and 3 duplicates of each one? Well, what this did is it promoted you to then take your extras and either send them away to other people, by promoting the mixtape concept, or, and what more commonly happens is you meet up with other friends of yours that are also interested in anime, and you trade ones that you have with other ones that they might have. Okay, so that way you don't have to actually buy every single one. You can just buy a bunch of different ones of opera shows, and then you can then take those ones and trade them with other ones that you're missing, or other tapes that you might be making, but you don't want to buy a whole cassette pack full of these things just for your one tape. So, okay, an example is, for example, I have this one for Dragon Ball. Okay, again, must have traded one of my the duplicates that I had for one of these ones, so that I had this particular unique Dragon Ball. Okay, another very, very rare one is the Bubblegum Crisis set. I got the cassette covers for Bubblegum Crisis 1, 2, and 3. So again, they corresponded to the CDs, which each CD that came out for Bubblegum Crisis was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then therefore they had a set that went from 1 through 8. This one, this is only the first 3, but that's the one. Okay. Pat Labor ends up being always a popular one. That's the 3rd series that Arctic Animation subcode. So again, I've got a series of Pat Labor cassette covers. Also, different types of scenes for Pat Labor and whatnot for that series. But again, it was a pretty popular series because the longer the series has, the more music and that kind of stuff that the series will have, and another you'll be able to make more different soundtracks and that kind of stuff for that particular series. So it was very popular to have large volumes of mixes, things like that. Okay, here's another one of my rarer ones. It's my Dirty Pair set. The original casting of Dirty Pair. Okay. Even into the modern era, slightly more modern era, they made these things for, like, for example, Sailor Moon. So there's a set of X that I have, various different characters from Sailor Moon. Okay. Another Kiichi Sonoda favorite is Gal Force. So there's a set of covers that I've got for Gal Force. Now again, this is one of these type of things where if it's proper, they'll make cassette cover for it. And it all contains a lot of the original artist artwork and that kind of stuff, or covers and that kind of stuff that they normally would have. And here's another classic, but sometimes a forgotten one, Venus Wars. And some of the covers and that kind of stuff I've got for that. So even like good movies that all have really nice artwork for them. Now, of course, in modern day, virtually nobody uses cassette tapes anymore. Everyone's using either, CDs, or even just going straight to like a digital media to put on their phones or on their iPods or something like that. But another thing that we commonly did with these cassette covers, especially when cassettes weren't available anymore, was use them on these things. And these are basically the something called a zip disk. So for computers, this held 100 megabytes of data. Okay. Some of them came up to 250 megabytes, but you can use these. And the neat thing about these things, again, comes in a jewel case and a floppy disk like that. With, let's say, a cassette cover like this one here. Not that you actually stored Apple CD files on here, but they neatly fit into this CD jewel case like that. And then you put the zip disk inside, and there we go. You have a decorative cover for your zip disks. Okay. Again, that was one of the uses that these cassette covers had after people stopped really using them as cassette covers. Okay, again, from the very rare type of animes, they got the one set I got for Appleseed. Okay, because when you tell the living set, they fall from the same set. You tell I got a set of 4, but this particular set of Appleseed. All right. And another favorite that another one of the favorite movies that we did was Silent Mobile. So they have various covered records for Silent Mobius. Now again, we did subtitles for both movie 1 and movie 2, and it was a lot of fun doing it. I had a lot of credit for doing all that work, doing the subtitles for that one. Okay, another offshoot of Kiyomiya's work, in addition to Silent Mobius, was Compiler. So again, we had a lot of coverage made for Compiler. Now, Compiler was good because it said that the main OEJ only came from one sort of OEJ, but they made all these different CDs and that kind of stuff for all the various different characters. So because the CDs were labeled Compiler, Assembler, Interpreter, and whatnot, Plasma and all that kind of stuff. And so each of the different CDs could be made onto an audio cassette cover, and then you could have all the different cassettes labeled exactly that: Compiler, Interpreter, Assembler, and all whatnot. So it matches all to your CD collection as well. Okay, and of course, without mentioning the anime, there's always Gundam. So Gundam 00.0 is one that, again, one of the very popular animes at that time as well. So, because again, making motor artwork for that, so manga designs for that show. So there you go. Okay, another somewhat use that came out for these cassette covers was to actually use them on CDs. So when basically recordable CDR media was made available, and you were able to then record your favorite songs and that stuff, or make actually a copy of the actual CD. Then now you have this recorded CD of your favorite stuff, and then you can then take your CD cover or tape cover that you have here and make it a CD cover. Again, you just slip it in right into the case like that, and then there you go. Now you have your Garo Densetsu soundtrack right on there, and again, decorative sleeve. Again, one of the recycled uses just of the actual discs when cassette media no longer was popular in usage. Okay. This is from my Garo Densetsu, or as you know it is, Fatal Fury 2. Now the unique thing about this particular disc is you see that the index is on both sides. It's designed for a slim type case. So they usually are a little bit wide. These things are a little bit wider, and they come in what they refer to as a slim type case, a cassette thing. Okay, and so again, you can fold the actual thing either way on either this index or this index side, so it's labeled from both sides of the cassette. The longer the series is, the more episodes, and of course the more music and the more soundtracks and that kind of stuff come out for a show. So along one of those shows like that is Ranma 1/2. So again, such a long show, producing a lot of different episodes and many different soundtracks as it constantly changes from one season to another. So it gives you more opportunity for you to, have more music, make mixtapes, for example. Friends have CDs or records of that particular thing, then they can trade with each other with all the different things like that you have for it. So again, this is sort of my collection that I've traded with different people and whatnot to get all these different varieties of random cassette cards. So again, in some ways, these can be just used, as for your audio file type collection. But again, it's also a way to, be like collectible cards almost. You can trade and exchange them with other people so that you can have some different ones yourself. Okay. The second series that Arctic Animation subtitled was Maison Ikaku, and again, some of my favorite artwork, as well as soundtracks and that kind of stuff, comes from this particular series. So again, being a longer series, it also produces a lot of different cassette covers and stuff, because obviously there's lots of CDs, lots of music, there's different changes in the opening and ending theme songs, for example. It allows you to get different, lots of different changes in the soundtracks, because the fact that every season they put out a new opening and theme song, and of course different music throughout the series. So it gives you more opportunity to use the mixtapes or whatever that you do for these cassettes. Okay. And again, one of my favorite series I did, and the first series that we actually did for Arctic Animation, is Orange Road. And again, they made a lot of different sort of audio cassette covers and that kind of stuff for Orange Road. And and a lot of them use, for example, the Akimi Takada artwork, much like the same one that you see on the poster over here. But yeah, all her artwork is also in these. There's a really, really nice compilation again. So before we were able to get, for example, that her book out in print form, then these cassette covers were one of those really popular ways to actually get the artwork that's on these things for. So again, very, very popular series. Produces lots of really nice artwork for that. Now, you may comment that, well, what happens if you're a person that doesn't really have a lot of, let's say, anime money, or whatever, lunch money, if you will, and you want to start trading some of this kind of cassette cards or that kind of stuff, or have cassette cards, but you don't have any money to to buy these cassette cards. Well, a lot of times in these magazines, for example, let's say this copy of Animedia here, inside on the center page, okay, they'll have cassette covers in them, so that you can cut them out and use them in your various different tapes as well. On this one, you can see the cassette covers. They have 4 to a page, and you basically can cut them out, and they have the indexes and that kind of stuff in them, and you can write whatever you want on them. Now, this particular one features a lot of fan artwork, okay? But different issues have different things as well. So, for example, in this issue of New Type magazine, they actually, if you go right to the center, you can pull out there's a pull-out in them, so you can pull it out here. And in this case, they have an audio and a video, kind of a cardboard cutout case thing for it. So on the one side here, you have a box that you can cut out, and you can make a box to put your VHS tape in it. So when you cut this out, then you can sleeve your old copy of the Pat Labor movie or something right inside it, and then that will be your protective sleeve for that. Okay, and then on this side, okay, has an audio cassette cutout. So you can cut this out, and again, make a little box that it comes with, and then you can sleeve your audio cassette right into it, and then that will make it your Pat Labor box. Again, this can be something you can trade if you don't use it, or if you are planning to use it, then you can cut it out and then put your Pat Labor tape in it, and there we go. Okay. So this is what we used to use, what we refer to as the audio cassette index card. Again, because we don't use the media of audio cassettes, or for that matter, from nowadays, we don't even use any media, be it DVD or VHS or Laserdisc. Everything's now almost a digital content. So this entire concept of using media and selling things based and promoted on the media has been now lost. So again, bringing something like this into this archive is a great way to cover what some of the historical things that we've had in our past in anime, and why anime used to work so well and be profitable to these companies, which is no longer a revenue stream possible for these companies because, again, nobody buys DVDs or tapes or laserdiscs. Therefore, no one really buys audio cassette covers or these type of accessories that are used with this type of medium. Again, maybe something else will come up that will suit the digital media. Who knows? Maybe it might be a game or an app or some sort of internet participation or something like that that will help generate revenue for these companies. But until then, please try to support the companies whenever possible, because that's how they can continue to make more anime that you like. Again, I'm sure staple animes like Gundam and that kind of stuff will always come out. But again, if you want some more sequels of certain shows to come out, then you got to show the artists and you got to show the companies that there is a market. People are willing to put something in, whatever it happens to be, if there's enough interest to generate the revenue to create new shows. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to hit like and hit subscribe down below here, and that way when new episodes come out, you can be notified when they come out, and then you won't be able to miss any of the episodes. Alright, so until next time, see you again.